Hello students, let us continue the session on statistics. In our previous session, we had discussed finding mean of a group data, which can be done in three different ways. The first method was direct method, the second method was deviation or assumed mean method, and the third method was step deviation method. In today's session, we shall begin with mode of a group data. For ungrouped data, we all know that most repeated observation is called as mode, but in a group data, it's little different. In the ungrouped data, the most frequently occurring number is the mode of the sequence. But in the group data, we have to find the class interval which has got a maximum frequency number that is called as a modal class, and the value of the mode in that modal class is calculated using the formula mode equal to L plus F1 minus F0 upon 2 times F1 minus F0 minus F2 multiplied with H, where L is the lower class limit of the modal class, H is the class interval size, F1 is the frequency of the modal class, F0 is the frequency of the preceding class, F2 is the frequency of the succeeding class. How do we identify the modal class? We need to identify the class interval which has got the maximum frequency number. From there, we will get L and also the frequency of the modal class. Preceding modal class is F1, preceding is F0, and succeeding is F2. We shall solve a question to understand this concept clearly. Let me take the table of marks of students of a class and let us find the modal class and the mode. Here 0 to 20, 20 to 40, 40 to 60, 60 to 80, 80 to 20. The class size is 20. That is what we observe here. Class interval size is 20. Upon observing the number of students here, the maximum number of students is there in the class interval 20 to 40. So the highest frequency eight is in class interval. I'll write it as CI, not compound interest. It's class interval 20 to 40. So the modal class will become 20 to 40. This is called as a modal class. Upon observation, you can identify now the lower limit of the modal class. The lower limit of the modal class here is 20. The class interval size is 20. The frequency of the modal class is F1. It is 8. The frequency of the class preceding to the modal class is 4. Frequency of the modal class, frequency of the class interval next to the modal class is 6. So we have got all the information related to find the mode. So mode is given by L plus F1 minus F0 divided by 2 times of F1 minus F0 minus 2 multiplied to H. Substitute the values 20 plus 8 minus 4 upon 16 minus 4 minus 6 multiplied to 20. On further simplification, we get it as 4 upon 6 multiplied to 20. 4 times 20 is 80. 80 by 6 is approximately 13.3 bar. So 20 plus 13.33, it becomes 33.33. So the mode of the given observations is 33.33. Now let us learn how to find median of a group of data. Before going into the median of a group of data, I would like to mention that you have learned how to find median in case of ungrouped data. First, we would observe the number of observations. If the number of observations is odd, we used to find the median as n plus 1 by 2th observation. Suppose if 5 observations are there, 5 plus 1 by 2, the third observation will be the median, provided the observations are arranged in ascending or descending order. If it is even number, then the median will be the mean of n by 2th observation plus n plus 1 by 2th observation, n by 2 plus 1th observation. I made a mistake here. Here it is n by 2 plus 1th observation divided by 2. It's a mean of n by 2th observation and n by 2 plus 1th observation. Suppose if 8 number of observations are there, then the average of the 4th and the 5th observation will be the median. But for a group of data, it is completely different method. To find median of a group of data, we need to find the cumulative frequency and n by 2. Then we have to find the median class, which is the class of the cumulative frequency nearer or greater than the value of n by 2. What is cumulative frequency? Cumulative frequency is obtained by adding the frequencies of all the classes preceding the given class. Then we will substitute in the formula median equal to L plus n by 2 minus cumulative frequency upon frequency multiplied to the class size H. This formula you need to remember. Here L is the lower limit of median class, n is the number of observations, Cf is the cumulative frequency of the class preceding the median class. Cf is the cumulative frequency, that too preceding the median class. F is the frequency of the median class, H is the size of the class. Let's try with a question and understand how to find median of the given data. Here, observe the table 1 to 5, 6 to 10, 11 to 15, 16 to 20, 21 to 25. The frequencies are given. The total number of frequency is 20. On adding all the frequencies, we get it as 20. To find median, I require cumulative frequency. That I'll consider two more columns. Here I'll mention the cumulative frequency. Cumulative frequency is sum of the frequencies, all the frequencies of class preceding. So for 6 to 10, it will be 3 plus 4, which is 7. Let me mention that here. How did I obtain? I'll mention it here. 4. Here it is 3 plus 4, which is 7. Next is 13, which is nothing but 6 added to the previous sum, which is 7. Next is 18, which is obtained by adding 5 to 13. Next is 20. This is obtained by adding 2 with the sum of the preceding frequencies. So we have found the cumulative frequencies. With this now, to find the median, let me find n by 2. Okay, n by 2, here it is 20 upon 2, which is 10. 10 is the value of n by 2. Now we need to identify the median class. How do we identify the median class? We need to identify in the cumulative frequency column the number or the frequency which is greater or closer to 10. Here, greater than 10 are these many, and the closest one is 13. So let me mention that so that there won't be any confusion. The median class equal to RE is 11 to 15 as its cumulative frequency is 13, which is greater than 10. Now we'll make use of formula. Median will be given by L plus n by 2 minus Cf upon F multiplied to H. Here, lower limit of the median class is 11 plus n by 2, the value is 10, minus the cumulative frequency of the class preceding the median class is 7 divided by the frequency of that particular median class, 6 into the class size is 5. Why it is 5? It is because the intervals are inclusive type. Therefore, we get it as 13.5. So the median of the given data is 13.5. The major important thing you must know is to identify the median class. How did I identify? I have found the value of n by 2, which is 10, and greater than 10, closest one is 13, that I need to consider, and the class has got frequency as 6, so 6 is used here, and we have to have this number, which is the cumulative frequency of the preceding class of median class. This is how we find median of a given data. There is a relationship between median, mean, and the mode, and this particular relation is called as an empirical relation. And whenever two of the things are known to us, we can easily find the third one using this empirical relation. 3 times median is mode plus 2 times mean. Now let us try and understand how to do the graphical representation of cumulative frequency distribution. The graph makes the data easy to understand. So to make the graph of a cumulative frequency distribution, we need to find cumulative frequency of the given table. Then we can plot the points on the graph. The cumulative frequency distribution can be of 2 types. The first type is called as a less than ogive. What is this less than ogive? To draw the graph of less than ogive, we take the low order limits of the class interval and mark the respective class less than frequency type, and we plot all the frequencies, and with the help of a smooth curve we join them. It becomes a less than ogive. The second type is called as a more than ogive. In this case, here in the previous we are using the lower limit. In this case we use the upper limit. So we consider all the upper limits of the class interval on the x-axis, and the representative frequencies we plot and we connect them with a smooth curve. Let's try and understand with an example. Here is a table. To draw the cumulative frequency distribution curve, we need less than and more than type. So let's first find out the less than cumulative frequency. Less than 10, less than 10, less than 20, less than 30, less than 40, less than 50, less than 60. How many number of students are falling in this less than 10? Here it's very clear, it's 7. How many are falling in the category of less than 20? Less than 20, this 10 along with the 7 should be considered, so it becomes 17. And less than 30, 14 plus 10 plus 7 have to be considered, 31. Same way, we get 51, 57, and 60. We also require more than type ogive, more than ogive. For that, I have to consider more than 0. How many are there? So total all the students, so it is 60. More than 10, how many are there? 7 has to be removed from the total to get more than 10, that is 53. More than 20. More than 20, this 17 has to be removed from the total and it becomes 43. More than 30, how many are there? From here to here I need to consider 10 plus 14 is 24 plus 7 is 31. So 60 minus 31 is 29. More than 40, how many are there? It will be 9. More than 50, how many are there? It is going to be 3. And more than 60, how many are there? There won't be any number of students. It is simply 0. Now to plot the graph, we'll plot all the points on the graph with respect to less than and more than type. Here we get the graph like this. Number of students is the frequency, and the class marks are mentioned here. 0 to 10 is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. And the respective less than type and the more than type are plotted and they are intersected at a point. Most of the things you need to remember is the class interval should be continuous to make Ogee curve. The x-coordinate at the intersection of less than and more than Ogee is the median of the given data. In the graph, you must see here this point of intersection. This point will give median. So what's the use of doing more than and less than type is we can find median of the given data. With this information, I would like to end today's session. In the next session, we shall solve the questions wherein you will find mean, median, and mode of the data. That's all for today's session. Thank you.